Well, welcome to a new Team CGC 9.8 video. Today is a special unbox video because I purchased two CGC 9.8 comic books from a team member out there. Yeah, it was a team member, Dave, who had hooked me up with two awesome CGC 9.8 comic books. And yeah, both of these books are definitely, I would say, interesting options for collectors for sure. One of the books is a modern book just coming out in the last couple of years here. And I think this is a timely video because I'm seeing some of the pricing action in this book and it's like really getting hot. So I was so happy to grab another one of those. The other book is a really underfollowed early 90s book with a first appearance. That's like super nostalgic to me. So I'm beyond pumped to show everyone these books. And want to give a best wishes out there to Dave and his family. You know, he's kind of unfortunately had to sell some of his books. So, you know, best wishes, and we're thinking about you for sure. Team member Dave out there. Now let's get into the books here. We'll, you know, show them off, get into a pricing and CGC census analysis for sure. Yeah, we'll do the Spider-Man book first. Yeah, this one, it's going to catch everyone by surprise probably. I think I mentioned on the channel maybe once or twice. Whereas the other book was one I've done a couple videos on, and you'll probably recognize me recommending it if you're a fan of the channel. First edition to the collection, newest edition, is a Spider-Man number 24. This is the first appearance of Doppelganger. So that's like the Spider-Man guy with 6 arms and legs too, and I had, you know, Doppelganger for me, I had a bunch of action figures back in the day, and I loved Doppelganger. A bunch of action figures of Doppelganger. Really loved them. Remember this run of covers because, you know, I was, you know, such a McFarlane fan of the early covers of this, but this being a little bit later 90s was more when I remembered books coming out, and definitely remember some of the Demo Goblin and Doppelganger books. Yeah, so, you know, such an underfollowed first appearance that I think is, you know, if you look on the census here real quick, there's 78 CGC 9.8s in the blue label, so that's not too many of them. But 86% is the CGC 9.8 ratio. So of all graded copies, like 86% of them are CGC 9.8. So basically just like hardcore Doppelganger, Demo Goblin fans kind of sending this in that took really good care of it, and most of them are 9.8. So it's not rare on the census or anything. Although only 78 out there, so pretty hard to find this book. I've, you know, somewhat hunted for a decent deal. I definitely wouldn't recommend to pay over $100 for this or anything. So yeah, team member Dave hooked me up. I paid what he paid, sort of $75 for this book. And I think that's a price to aim for this. You don't want to get into paying over $80, I don't think, with it not being relatively rare at all. And you know, there's 78 of them out there, which doesn't seem like a lot, but for kind of a cult niche book, that's not too bad. So I think $75 is kind of the price target if you want a Spider-Man 24. Yeah, first appearance of Doppelganger, and yeah, I'm kind of interested too. I want to get back on Marvel Unlimited and maybe read some of these stories from back in the day, because I do remember reading some of these comics with Doppelganger in them. And you know, like I said, obviously having the action figures when you're a kid kind of makes a pretty big impression on you. Yeah, and it says here, like, Infinity War crossover, Demo Goblin vs. Hobgoblin, and then first appearance of Doppelganger. And yeah, Mark Begley and Al Milgrom covers. So you guys, classic artists, classic Mark Begley Spider-Man. So yeah, one, I was really kind of, you know, I was looking for this, but it's hard to kind of stay on top searches looking for this because it's not a real big book, and there's certainly other key issues that come to mind first in CGC 9.8 books to get, besides Spider-Man 24 first Doppelganger. But if you really like Doppelganger, if you're a kid of the 90s like I was, you know, in 1995 I was 10 years old, so, you know, Doppelganger for me is like a really memorable character from that time period. So first appearance for $75 in CGC 9.8, I think is that's a price to aim for, and I thought it was a great buy for me anyway. Okay, next book. I mentioned, you know, some of the pricing was getting hot for this book. Really glad to add another one because I do have a couple others. Yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 51. CGC 9.8 white pages. First appearance of Jennika, this one. Her first kind of minor appearance in comic books. She's basically introduced as sort of a Foot Clan soldier in this issue. And goes down as, yeah, her first minor appearance in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 95. She becomes the first female Ninja Turtle. So, looking on the census for this book, growing in numbers a little bit. There's 36 in the CGC 9.8 out there. So, obviously 1 in 36 here. And, yeah, really quick, actually. I might as well do this. There's one. Another one. That. And 3. So I got 3 now. And this is really, you know, a book I made videos about that, you know, maybe 6 months ago, maybe even longer ago, that I was really targeting this book as like a modern book to like sort of one of the modern books that really I thought was a good one to go after, because I'm not really big into modern books, so I like to kind of be picky and choosy. But, yeah, we'll look at the census and talk about price really quick. Yeah, the 36 CGC 9.8 in the blue label, as I said. 78% CGC 9.8 ratio, so, you know, it's a brand new book, so not as important that CGC 9.8 ratio. So, Dave hooked me up with this one for $110, and my other two, I paid, one of them was in an auction for like $78, and the other one was $100 even, and then $110 for this one. And, you know, haven't been too on top of the searches because I'm pretty happy now with my Jenica collection. But Dave had sent me some completed listings from just the past couple days here, and one of these had sold for $265, and there was another one that I was like $229.99, and that sold in a best offer. So I would imagine that probably sold under $200. But someone paid $265 for one of these in the CGC 9.8 white pages, which you know, I think is definitely going to go down as certainly an overpay in this environment. You know, I think this 36 CGC 9.8s for this book is going to grow on the census. There's also the retail incentive sketch version that's a Kevin Eastman cover, actually. And normally I prefer the Kevin Eastman covers when you're dealing with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle books, to be honest. But I like this colored Ken Garing cover better than the sketch Kevin Eastman version, which is surprising. But I just really, you know, I think he just kind of nailed it. Really simple montage cover. I think has a good chance to just be classic. You know, it's not anything spectacular, but you know, just a good classic teen cover. And yeah, it's all about the first appearance of Jenica with this book. So yeah, that 110 that, you know, Dave had hooked me up for, and then sending me those completed lists, and kind of felt bad because, you know, I would imagine more, though, a fair price for this book in this environment right now, with Jenica having her new limited series, Jenica #1, coming out and things like that. You know, maybe about a 150, under 150, 140, 150 would be a good price to aim for. You know, maybe if an auction came up and you thought it was pretty kind of an underfollowed auction, you might get lucky. You know, maybe closer to 125 type, you know, 120, 125. But, yeah, I think, you know, I've highlighted this in videos past, and I think when you look at NYX #3, and you look at Edge of Spider-Verse #2, first Spider-Gwen, first kind of Lady Wolverine, those books have really gone hot. NYX just exploded, and so I think this is one it's worth getting in. You know, what I said was it was worth getting in there when these were around $100, certainly, because there's that really, really big potential, I think. First female Ninja Turtle. There's always that NYX #3 or Edge of Spider. You know, I'd take an Edge of Spider-Verse 2 potential, because NYX 3 in the CGC 9.8 is about $650, I would say, right now. And Edge of Spider-Verse 2 is maybe $450, let's call it. So, I mean, if this can get to $450 over the next 5 to 10 years here, that would be amazing. And yeah, it always struck me as, out of modern books, the first female Ninja Turtle really was like one of the modern books I really wanted to highlight and go out and grab more of. And so, you know, 3 in the CGC 9.8s, obviously. I got 1, 2, 3, and 4 of these. First Prince, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 51, first appearance of Jenica, all in very, very good shape too. Yeah, looking, even one of my 9.8s, there was a bit of a dink on one of them, I think. So like, and looking on the spines of these, they are very clean. So these are possible 9.8s too sometime down the road whenever I want to get them graded. But 4 nice raw ones, and you know, again, I did make videos saying that I was buying these in bulk like 6 months ago. It was now maybe. So I got 4 raw first prints, 3 CGC 9.8 first prints. Would like to grab a sketch, you know, that Kevin Eastman sketch print maybe in the CGC 9.8, and I almost actually did, but I think the one I was trying to make a deal for was a signed one, and then they were, you know, it was over $200, and I think just for a modern book, I didn't want to do that. I think it was over maybe $300 for a signed one. So it was getting up there, and you know, a blue label 51 sketch version, retail incentive sketch version, could be maybe one to add, but I noticed on the census for that one, there's, I believe, 35 in the CGC 9.8. So this one, the first print being 36. So even though the retail incentive version is usually more rare, there seems to be the same amount of first print, which is kind of odd. So I think this first print still is kind of the one to get. I like the cover better, but maybe the sketch one could be one to add. Yeah, so, you know, really, I think I'm going to really love having this book because, as I said, just being really familiar with Doppelganger when I was a kid, and just to have the first appearance of Doppelganger, love Mark Bagley, so, you know, great artist on that book, too. Yeah, really cool underfollowed first appearance. Certainly, if you like Doppelganger, Spider-Man number 24, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 51. Yeah, first minor appearance of Jennica with, yeah, and I think even now, if hopefully in an auction I'm not too sure of where the prices are going to go, like, you know, one went up to 260 something. I would imagine this limited series is generating some buzz. So, yeah, I would say around 150 if you really wanted this book would be, you know, a pretty decent price to aim for in this environment, which is, for me, is kind of paying up, me getting them closer to 100, but I think, you know, the prices have moved on a bit. Obviously, one went for 265, so I think 115 kind of an auction is one to aim for first appearance of Jennica. Yeah, but got so much potential. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 51, I think. Okay, so yeah, really happy to kind of, you know, it was great purchasing from Dave. He, you know, we've been talking as he's been amassing his collection on Instagram for the last 6 months. So I've become really good friends with him. It's, yeah, super unfortunate, but you know, definitely I wish Dave and his family all the best. But you know, these books, I'll definitely give them a great home. And yeah, I think great ideas for the whole team out there with these 2 books. And yeah, if you're like me and you sort of pick and choose moderns, consider Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 51. And 95 too, and 97 I would say even. The first Jennica cover is 97. Like on the first print. Or no, not the first Jennica cover. The first time she puts on the yellow bandana is in 97. So it's almost like I compare those to Robin, like when it's like first Robin in costume, like they're like, it's kind of like that. So 97 is kind of first Jennica when she puts on her yellow Ninja Turtle bandana costume. 95 and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 51. Yeah, really moderns that I would recommend with this first female Ninja Turtle having a lot of potential, I think. Okay, yeah, so hopefully you got some ideas today. If you haven't already, I'd invite you to join the team and subscribe to Team CGC 9.8. Hit the bell, get all our latest notifications, and add me on Instagram and Twitter too. Yeah, I got all the links in the description below for all that stuff. But yeah, so there's 2 great books that I'm unboxing, but they're almost, you know, great recommendations too. Like this could easily have been just, you know, I recommend these 2 CGC 9.8 comics. Yeah, great kind of early 90s underfollowed first appearance. And a modern book, I think, with some of the most potential of any modern book you could possibly buy out there. So, all right, thanks so much for watching today. I think, you know, there's a little bit of a weird feeling out there with this whole coronavirus thing. So I think it's nice to kind of talk about comic books and just hang out a bit. And, yeah, talk CGC 9.8s and look on the census and talk prices and stuff. So, yeah, enjoyed the video today. I hope you did too. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already. But thanks for watching. Thanks for all the comments and the support as well. I'll see you on the next one.